Okay. Um, I guess I just wanted to talk about an experience I just had, and it's not just the soul experience itself that's been, that I've been thinking about, but it's kind of an accumulation of events as a whole that's taken place over the past couple months. This is a big time of change for me, having just moved to this new city. Um, and I'm kind of all alone, living in a studio. But the place that I moved from, I was also very alone and farther away from anyone who I knew. So, in a sense, moving here actually feels better for me and feels better for my mental well being. And so I've decided with this kind of change to kind of put myself out there, but I decided to utilize this physical change in location to put myself out there in more ways than just physical and to break out of my shell mentally as well and kind of challenge myself and push myself to do more with myself. And that's led to some good friendships that I've made over the past couple months and some really, really neat experiences that make me feel like this decision to move here was meaningful and was the right decision to make. And I'm sure there were those kinds of opportunities from the place that I used to live, but I just didn't take them. I didn't take them. And I was there for 2.5, nearly 3 years, and I didn't do anything with it. That's part of this story is I started to challenge myself and push myself to do more things. And one of those outcomes really, really shocked me. Growing up, I was always really into language. I loved language, particularly foreign languages, and particularly a subset within that was Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin Chinese was a big, big, big part of my adolescence, learning the language, being part of a lot of the cultural programs, doing a lot of volunteer work at my hometown's local Chinese community center. And it was just something that I loved to do, to speak and learn the language and to speak with other people who knew the language and to get myself involved. That progressed throughout my early school years, all the way through high school, through college, and it's something that was such a major, major integral part of my life. Just, I guess a better way to phrase that would be I left it. I left it. And I'm not sure why, but I got a job here that didn't really utilize it at all. And I also fell into not a great headspace. And so the combination of those two things were essentially just me not supporting myself and me not taking care of myself. And a natural outcome of that combination of factors is that you lose the things that used to make you happy. And so I did. I lost it. I lost the idea of pursuing something that I enjoy. I lost the idea of having a concrete goal, and the pursuit of that goal gives so much meaning and value into your life. And I lost the ability to make those kinds of goals and adhere to them. And it led me down this rabbit hole of constantly second guessing myself, wondering if this is kind of a fluke. The formative years of my life, what really gave me so much enjoyment back then, I was wondering if that was all just a fluke and if any of that was real. And I lost it. I lost a lot of what brought me so much joy. Going back to moving here, part of that kind of change that I set to initiate was to kind of touch base with that version of me that I would see in photos and scrolling through Instagram, I would see old memories, Snapchat memories. Those are brutal. Those are brutal, man. The Snapchat memories. Remember this 6 years ago when you were so much happier? So, um, those are brutal, man. Delete Snapchat while you still can. Like, that's, if you're in your 20s, Snapchat's not a good app for you. I'm telling you right now. But, anyways, I wanted to rekindle that. I wanted to really, really push myself to see how I could rekindle any of that interest that I used to have. It was around that time when I noticed that there was a job application that came up, and it was an internal posting within my company, but it was a posting that was for working in Shanghai. So I decided to give it a go and apply, and I had no confidence that it would go anywhere. I thought about all of the doors that I could have opened in my old place that I chose not to. I think about it a lot, and it really, really bears on me sometimes is, you know, how things could be different if I would have made the effort to open some of those doors. At least just peek through the curtain and see what could have led from that. See what could have been behind the curtain, and maybe even take a step through if it really interested me. But instead of doing any of that, I was afraid and not in a good place, and I left all those doors closed. So I was looking at this job application. I thought, this is a door that I want to peek through. I want to see what would arise from it. And so I applied for the job, and within a couple of days, I heard back from a recruiter. And because this isn't within my internal company, the recruiter just kind of pinged me, just kind of gave me a message through our communication channels and said, hey, I noticed you applied for this job. We're kind of surprised that an American would apply for this job because it's really an internal posting for within China. And it seems like they kind of made a technical misstep. They didn't know how to just set the listing for Chinese applicants. So they were not expecting like this white boy from Illinois to randomly apply. But I expressed interest, and one thing led to another, and I actually had a real interview signed up. That was already kind of like one toe through the doorstep, you know, like you're thinking of like you're sitting next to a swimming pool and you're hovering over the waters and you're kind of dipping your toe in to feel out the temperature, you know, if it's going to be hot or cold or just right. And when you dip your toe in, you kind of see a reflection. You know, I was kind of creeping in, you know, dipping my toe in and seeing what that reflection would give me. And so I got this invite for an interview, and I was scared. I was really scared, but I was excited. It was a kind of excitement that I never really felt before. At least when I was living in my old place for several years. I was living there for like 2 or 3, almost 3 years, and I never had that feeling before. Like this like unlocked something in me deep down that I had not felt. I had not felt this kind of emotion ever since college, I would say. These butterflies in my chest, but it wasn't just nerves, it was anticipation, it was excitement, it was real, genuine emotion. And it really struck me. It really struck me feeling these kinds of things. And it really, it had me emotional, not only just out of the natural anticipation that you have for an upcoming interview that you're excited / anxious / scared as hell about, but also just another emotion where it's like, you know, I feel something that I haven't felt in a long time before. And so that really took me back. That took me aback. I was not expecting that kind of reaction. And it's something that I want to feel more of. Something that I want to feel more of. I think that's really what I take away from that particular moment in time when I look back. That was about a month ago, I would say, is that it's something I want to feel again. And I think that's the first step towards progress, towards feeling again. As crazy as that sounds, it feels like I haven't felt for 3 years, and it's something I want to feel again, right? Like I'm not scared about it. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I know that more of what I felt at that moment of time is coming in the future, and that's the first time that I've ever realized something like that in ever since college. So it's very humbling, and it makes you think about, it makes at least me, because I don't know how much of this experience will resonate with anyone else, but at least it makes me think back to that old place that I was at, and say, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you were in this place. You don't need to beat yourself up about it, because now you're here, and there's a future ahead of you. So that really took me aback. I'll say that really took me aback. And we had the interview. It wasn't with the recruiter. It was with the hiring manager for that position. And she, obviously she was Chinese. She was also Canadian as well. Most of our conversation was in English. I hate to say, because I feel like 19-year-old me could have definitely handled a full interview in Mandarin, not to flex or anything, because I'm certainly not at that level right now, but it's something I can definitely get back to, and that's exciting. But no, our interview was in English, and she was really taken aback as well, that some white kid from Illinois was interested in this kind of position. And so, we had the interview, and obviously there were the natural nerves and the natural butterflies, but I feel like it went really well. That was also a couple of weeks ago, and I came out of that interview just feeling so great. And it wasn't even about the prospect of that position, about working in Shanghai, because to tell you the truth, I was not expecting to get that role at all. I came out of that interview thinking we had a really, really good hour-long discussion, but there's no job in the horizon. There's no chance. So I was pretty confident to just stamp that one and shelve it, at least that job position. But it wasn't really about the job position, I know that's kind of a weird reverse way of thinking when it comes to the interview process, and that's definitely not how you should approach an interview, because you don't want to waste the interviewer's time. Let me stress, I went into that interview 100% with my goal 100% being to land that position. So I was not wasting her time in any way. I wanted that position badly, but I came away with it just immensely grateful. And she was a wonderful human being as well, and we got to connect. And I just heard back, and this is actually why I'm filming this video now, is because we just had another chat online, and I did not get the position, but she was so gracious enough to give me a feedback meeting, to give general feedback on their interview. But it wasn't really about the feedback. It was more so to reconnect and to chat, because the interview was a month ago at this point. And it was really nice. It was really, really nice. and we're going to stay connected in the future. I think back to that moment back in January where I was sitting in that hotel room and I just happened to come across this job listing. This random job listing that I was by no means qualified for in any way, that was in Shanghai, that I had no chance of getting accepted for at all. And I think back to that time, and I think, what if I had said no? What if I had looked through the qualifications and looked through the posting and just decided it wasn't for me, and closed my laptop and watched Netflix that night? I would not have had that experience, that emotional experience that I had last month, and I would not have had made this truly great connection that I now have, that I just got off of the phone with. And it's so humbling. It's so gratifying. It's so gratifying to have this kind of feeling again in my heart and in my chest, where I now have a connection, and there's many more connections to be had in the future, and that's going to be something that's in the back of my mind that I had never considered before when I was in a bad place, was what's beyond that door. If I just peek through that curtain, there's something good. There's something really, really good that could come out of it. And so I just wanted to talk about that. I'm not used to this sitting in front of a camera. I don't do this at all. I used to when I was like a teen. I made some like One Piece anime videos, but please don't go out and look for that, because that's that's in the past. I want to shelve that because that's not it was a fun time, but no, that's not really what I do anymore. No, I just wanted to sit down in front of a camera. This is I'm another drawing back to all decisions lead to some kind of outcome. I was considering taking my phone and recording. I was wondering if I should do this kind of thing, and now I'm sitting here 22 minutes in. I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. So I want more of this. I want more of this, of me making these kinds of decisions, and regardless of the outcome, being grateful, being happy with myself that I chose to do this. I chose to make this certain decision, and sure, I didn't get the position that I wanted, but something really, really good still came out of it. And so what's there to be afraid of? What's there to be afraid of anymore? And it's beautiful. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I don't know if I'm going to edit this. I don't know if I know how. Yeah, I don't know how to end this either. Is there like a formality? Is there like a specific way that you're supposed to do things? Like and subscribe. I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, it was good to get that off my chest. So thank you. All right. Bye.